Archangel Michael is calling you now. 3 minutes left. This emergency message will change your destiny. The voice that calls you is not one of fear, but of mercy. This is not a message that comes from panic, but from the deepest love of God, who does not want to lose even one of his beloved children. You are being gently, yet urgently invited into the arms of grace. What may seem like an ordinary day holds a sacred meaning now, because the Lord is standing beside you. Your soul is being stirred not by coincidence, but because something in your spirit knows that this moment is holy. You were led here for a reason. Type 2222 if you believe. If your heart feels weary, if life has been pulling you in many directions, if you've been searching for peace that doesn't fade with time, then be still now, for you are in the presence of something eternal. Archangel Michael is not here to frighten you. He stands as a guardian and a messenger of hope, urging you to return to the love that never left you. Every second you've spent feeling forgotten or unloved was a second God was still loving you, still watching you, still waiting for you to look up. There are times when life makes you feel as though you're drowning in the waves of sorrow, and everything you try to hold on to slips through your fingers like sand. You wonder if joy will ever return, if peace will ever stay longer than a fleeting breeze. But right now, with everything inside you, hold on to this truth: God has never turned away from you. He has been calling you back with a whisper, through dreams, through moments of silence, through tears you thought no one noticed. And now, through this message, that call is no longer a whisper. It is a cry of divine love. You may have made mistakes, walked down roads that felt too dark to return from, or built walls around your heart to protect yourself from further pain. But Jesus did not come for those who have everything together. He came for the broken, the tired, the lost, and the ashamed. He walked among the hurting, healed the untouchables, forgave the condemned, and embraced the outcasts. He would leave the 99 just to find the one, and right now, you are the one he is reaching for. There is no wound too deep that God cannot heal, no past so damaged that he cannot redeem. The blood of Jesus did not flow in vain, it was poured out for moments like this, where the weight on your soul feels too much to carry. In his presence, you don't need to pretend to be okay. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to be willing to open your heart, even just a little, and say, "Here I am, Lord." He will do the rest. This moment isn't a coincidence. Your heart is feeling something because heaven is leaning in. Archangel Michael doesn't carry words lightly. His message is not just a message of hope, it's a warning bathed in love. Not every door stays open forever. The time to return is now. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Now. Because in the blink of an eye, everything can change. And what joy awaits the soul that says yes to God's invitation. You have been wandering for too long, searching for meaning in things that never truly filled you. You've tasted the bitterness of betrayal, the silence of unanswered prayers, the ache of loneliness even in crowded rooms. And through all of it, God was there, waiting with a love that never gives up, never runs out, and never grows tired of calling your name. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, This breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Every delay is a missed blessing, and those who act now are already walking into the wealth you deserve. Step forward before the door closes. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. Heaven does not measure your worth by your past but by your potential to be transformed. Every scar can become a testimony. Every failure can become a stepping stone. Every night can lead to a brighter morning when you walk with Jesus. He does not promise an easy path, but He promises to walk every step with you, to carry you when you cannot walk, and to defend you when the battles become too heavy. Archangel Michael has been assigned to battle on your behalf, to shield your soul from the darkness that tries to keep you chained. But he cannot force you to turn toward the light. You must choose it. You must say yes. This is the hour of grace. This is the moment your destiny begins to shift. The heavens rejoice over every heart that turns back, and right now, all of heaven waits for your response. This message is not meant to scare you. It is meant to awaken something in you that may have been sleeping for too long, the part of you that knows you were made for more than surviving. You were made to walk with God, to love and be loved, to heal and be healed, to shine even after the darkest storm. You may have carried guilt, grief, anger, or fear, but none of it is too heavy for the love of God to lift from you. Jesus is not looking at what you've done wrong. He is looking at the beauty of your soul, the depth of your longing, and the hope still flickering like a candle in your heart. Type 222 to open your heart to peace. God sees you when no one else does. He sees the moments when you cry in silence, the days when you feel like giving up, and the hours when you beg for answers that don't come. Yet, through all of that, He does not look away. He leans closer. His love is not fragile or fleeting, it is fierce, eternal, and deeply personal. He knows your name, your voice, your wounds, and your dreams. And still, He loves you the same, with no conditions and no limits. Jesus came not to condemn but to restore, to heal the broken-hearted, and to breathe life into those who feel spiritually exhausted. You may not feel worthy, but worth was never something you had to earn. You were born with it. The Father placed it in you when He formed you in love. Jesus went to the cross because He saw a future for you far greater than your past. He saw joy, freedom, and healing. The nails didn't hold Him there, His love for you did. That kind of love doesn't fade. It follows you through every season, waits at the door of your heart, and calls you gently even when you've wandered far. Archangel Michael's message isn't meant to stir fear, but to awaken the sacred truth you've always known deep down, that you are not meant to walk alone. The battles you've fought have not been in vain. The pain you've endured is not being ignored. Heaven has kept count of every tear, and the time has come for you to rise again, not by your own strength, but by the hand of the one who conquered death. You are being called out of the shadows and into the light, not because you've earned it, but because God's grace never stops reaching. In the silence of your soul, there is a place where your spirit meets the divine. In that stillness, you'll find Jesus waiting with open arms. He is not a distant figure from stories long ago. He is here now, living, breathing, reaching for your heart with tenderness. He is the calm in your storm, the answer in your confusion, the comfort in your grief. When the world walks out, he walks in. When everything falls apart, he remains. When hope seems lost, he restores it. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not too far gone. These words are being written into your life at the exact moment your spirit is ready to receive them. Archangel Michael stands close, not to frighten you but to shield you from what seeks to harm you. He is a protector sent by God, and his voice carries the urgency of love, not fear. This is your moment to open the door you've kept shut for too long. Let the light in. Let grace in. Let healing begin. Type 555 if you believe God is working behind the scenes for your breakthrough. There is something sacred about surrender. Not giving up, but giving in to the arms that have held the stars and still want to hold you. When you stop trying to do everything alone and let Jesus in, something beautiful begins to happen. The weight begins to lift. The pieces start to come together. Your heart begins to soften again. The past no longer defines you. The shame begins to lose its grip. And the peace that surpasses all understanding begins to settle in places that were once filled with fear. God doesn't just want a part of your life, he wants all of it, not to control you, but to bless you beyond what you can imagine. He wants to walk with you through every valley, sit with you in every silence, and rejoice with you on every mountain. He is not finished with you. What you see as an ending, he sees as a new beginning. The things that have hurt you will not have the last word. The story is not over. And this chapter is the one where light begins to return. You may not know what's coming, but you don't have to. What you need to know is who's with you. Jesus walks beside you with compassion, strength, and patience. He understands your struggle because he lived it. He knows the pain of betrayal, the sting of loneliness, and the weight of grief. He faced it all so you would never have to go through anything alone. And now, he is offering you a new path, a path of faith, healing, and eternal hope. The world will try to convince you that you're too broken to be fixed, too far gone to be brought back. But that's not what heaven sees. Heaven sees potential, purpose, and a heart that still has a spark. Even the tiniest spark is enough for God to ignite a fire of transformation. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing. Let him in, even if your faith is small. He will grow it. He will guide you. He will never let you fall without offering his hand to lift you. This message is not just for today, it is a seed planted in your soul that will bloom in time. Archangel Michael is here to guard that seed, but you must protect it, water it with faith, and keep it rooted in the Word of God. There will be days when you feel weak, but remember that God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. You don't need to know how everything will work out. You just need to know that He is with you in every moment, and He will never let you go. Type 1919 to receive miracles in this moment of grace. Sometimes we carry pain for so long that we forget what it feels like to be free from it. It becomes part of our daily rhythm, a silent weight we've learned to walk with. But you were never meant to carry those burdens alone. The heartaches, the fears, the mistakes, they were never yours to hold forever. Jesus came to lift them off your shoulders. He came to offer peace where there's been anxiety, forgiveness where there's been guilt, and hope where there's been despair. That is not just a promise, it is His mission, and it is happening in this moment, right here with you. God's love is not dependent on your past. He does not tally up your failures and hold them against you. He looks deeper. He sees the child within you who once believed, who once hoped, who once trusted freely. And He wants to bring that light back to your eyes. The world may have tried to dim your spark, but it cannot destroy what God has placed inside you. That spark is still there, waiting for the breath of the Holy Spirit to fan it into flame again. A mysterious 9-word prayer once sealed inside a private government vault is now resurfacing, and people everywhere are seeing financial breakthroughs overnight. Experts say it triggers a long silent part of the human brain responsible for abundance and wealth attraction. It takes less than 30 seconds to repeat, yet it's turning struggle into prosperity. Thousands are reporting cleared loans, sudden cash inflows, and unexpected blessings. Click the link in the description and comments before this secret disappears again. There are seasons when we feel distant from God, as if He has gone silent. But in truth, He has been closer than ever. Just because He is quiet does not mean He has stopped working. Some of the most profound moments of transformation begin in silence. Just like a seed buried beneath the soil, you may not see growth on the surface right away, but deep within, something sacred is beginning to awaken. And soon, that seed will break through, and your spirit will feel the warmth of a new beginning. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, not as a distant figure from ancient stories, but as a guardian assigned to your very soul. He fights for you when you're too weary to fight for yourself. He lifts his sword against the darkness that tries to keep you in despair. But there is one thing he cannot do: he cannot choose for you. Only you can open your heart to the presence of Jesus. Only you can take that first step toward healing, faith, and peace. And that step, however small, is enough. When Jesus walked this earth, He reached out to the forgotten. He sat with the broken. He touched the untouchable. He didn't wait for people to get their lives in order before loving them. He met them exactly where they were, in their pain, in their sin, in their confusion, and loved them without hesitation. That same Jesus is here now, waiting for you. His arms are open, His heart is full of mercy, and His voice is calling your name, softly, gently, with a love that never fails. Type 1212 if you walk by faith, not by sight. You may be tired of waiting. Tired of praying without seeing answers. Tired of believing when life keeps breaking you. But let this truth rest in your soul: God is never late. His timing is perfect. What you see as a delay, He sees as preparation. He is setting things in motion behind the scenes that you cannot yet understand. And when the time is right, everything will fall into place in ways that will leave you breathless with gratitude. Until then, hold on to hope like a lifeline, and let faith be your anchor in the storm. Some wounds take time to heal, and that's okay. God is not in a rush. He is patient, kind, and endlessly gentle. He doesn't push you to move faster than you're ready. He walks beside you, matching your pace, listening to your heart, and reminding you every day that you are loved. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You are His child. You are His beloved. And nothing in this world or beyond it can change that truth. When life feels too heavy, when the nights feel too long, remember that you are not walking this journey alone. The same Jesus who calmed the sea with a word is speaking peace over your heart right now. The same Jesus who raised the dead is breathing life into your weary spirit. The same Jesus who was wounded for our healing is reaching for your pain with compassion. Let Him in. Let Him heal what you've hidden for so long. Let Him rewrite the story you thought was over. God's love is not fragile. It is strong enough to hold your doubt, your anger, your heartbreak. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't even have to have perfect faith. You just have to be willing to believe that maybe, just maybe, you are not as alone as you feel. That maybe there is a light still shining in the darkness. That maybe this moment is not the end, but the beginning of something holy. There is no greater gift than being seen and still loved. And that is exactly what God offers you. Complete, unconditional love that asks for nothing but your heart in return. You don't have to fix everything before coming to Him. Come broken. Come confused. Come weary. Just come. And He will meet you there, every time, without fail. Let this message be your reminder that grace is real, that healing is possible, and that the future still holds beauty for you. Let Archangel Michael's presence give you strength to stand, even if your legs are trembling. Let Jesus carry you if you cannot walk. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are deeply, eternally loved. The noise of life may be loud, but this moment is quiet, beautifully quiet, because heaven has drawn near to you. You may not have seen the signs before. You may have walked through years of darkness thinking that no one noticed your pain. But the Lord noticed. And He is moving now in ways that will gently shift everything you thought was impossible to change. Type 666 if you trust Jesus to walk with you through every storm. The truth is, we all carry wounds. Some are visible to the world, and others are hidden so deep that we've convinced ourselves they don't matter anymore. But God sees them. Not to shame you, but to heal you. His love does not look away from brokenness. It draws nearer to it. The very places you've tried to hide, your doubts, your failures, your secrets, those are the places He wants to restore. And that restoration doesn't come with pressure or guilt. It comes with gentleness. Like a loving father kneeling down to hold his child, God comes low so He can lift you up. Archangel Michael's message is filled with urgency, but that urgency is born from love. A holy love that refuses to let you remain in sorrow. A love that calls you away from hopelessness and into freedom. Sometimes, life hardens our hearts. We stop hoping because disappointment became too familiar. We stop praying because silence felt endless. But the truth is, even when you gave up, God never did. His plans for you were never cancelled. His love was never withdrawn. And His timing, though mysterious, is always intentional. Buried deep in forgotten archives, a 9-word phrase once hidden from the public is now transforming ordinary lives. Neuroscientists call it a wealth frequency activator, because it awakens a part of the brain that naturally draws prosperity. It takes just seconds to speak, but the change can last a lifetime. People are waking up debt-free and financially secure. The page could vanish at any moment. Click the link before it's gone for good. There are moments in life when you don't need a crowd, a sermon, or a stage. You just need a whisper from heaven to know that God is still with you. This is one of those moments. Let your spirit be still. Let your heart soften. You don't have to fix anything first. You don't have to say the perfect words. Just be present, and let God do what only He can, pour His peace into places where pain used to live. There are things in your life that you may have accepted as permanent: a broken relationship, a lost dream, a wounded heart. But with God, nothing is truly final unless He says so. He can take what is shattered and shape it into something sacred. He can take what you thought was wasted and weave it into a testimony. He is not a God of second chances, He is a God of endless mercy. Mercy that doesn't keep score. Mercy that meets you again and again until your heart finally says yes. Type 2323 if you believe God is calling your name right now. Sometimes we think we need to be strong for God to help us. But His strength is made perfect in our weakness. You don't have to be unshaken to be chosen. You just need to be willing. Even the tiniest seed of faith is enough for Him to work with. The prayers you've whispered through tears, the hopes you've held in secret, the parts of your soul you haven't told anyone about, He's been listening all along. Not one cry has been lost. Not one tear has gone unnoticed. Heaven has been recording every moment because your story matters. You may be tired of holding it all together. You may be longing for someone to truly see you, not just your image, not just your smile, but your soul. That's what Jesus sees. He sees your soul. He knows your exhaustion, your doubts, your regrets, and still, He calls you precious. Still, He calls you worthy. Still, He reaches for you, not in judgment, but in compassion. There is no place too dark for His light, and no heart too hardened for His love. It's okay if you don't know how to start. You don't need a dramatic change overnight. You just need to open your heart, even a little. The Lord is patient. He will walk with you step by step, even if your steps are shaky. There is no shame in starting small. There is only beauty in beginning again. And as you begin again, you'll start to see the pieces of your life come back together, not the same as before, but stronger, deeper, and wrapped in grace. God's love is not a concept. It's not just words on a page or something we talk about in moments of celebration. It is real. It is active. It is fighting for you right now. You may not see the full picture yet, but what you can feel, that quiet stirring, that strange peace, that small flame of hope, is proof that He is near. That is the Holy Spirit drawing your heart back to the One who made it. That is Jesus standing at the door, waiting for you to let Him in. No matter how long you've been gone, no matter how many times you've tried and failed, this moment can be the one where everything begins to change. Not because of what you do, but because of what He already did. The cross was not a symbol of guilt, it was a promise of grace. And that grace is still flowing, still healing, still inviting. Right here. Right now. Let your heart rest in that truth. You don't need to run anymore. You don't need to keep trying to earn what God gives freely. You are already loved. Already pursued. Already chosen. You are not here by chance. You are being called home, not just to a faith, but to a Father. A Father who has never stopped believing in the beauty of who you are and the greatness of who you are becoming. And now, He is reaching toward you, not with force, but with the tender strength of a love that never left you. Even when you walked through valleys alone, even when you questioned your worth, even when the weight became too much, His hand never let go of yours. Type yes to affirm that you are ready to receive His love. There is nothing too shattered in your life that He cannot rebuild. The parts of your past that bring you shame, the broken places you've hidden away, the habits you thought you'd never break, none of it is too much for God. He does not flinch at your mess. He does not step back from your pain. He draws nearer. Always nearer. Like a parent rushing to comfort a crying child, God is running toward your heart right now. And He will not leave until you are whole again. The world teaches us to protect ourselves, to guard our hearts, to pretend everything is okay. But Jesus came to break through those walls, not to shame us, but to free us. You weren't created to live in fear. You weren't made to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. That burden belongs to Him. When He went to the cross, He carried every ounce of that weight, every regret, every tear, every heartbreak. He took it all upon Himself so that you wouldn't have to bear it alone. You may feel unworthy, but God's love is not based on worthiness. It's based on His unchanging nature. He is love. And because of that, He loves you, not for what you've done, but for who you are. The real you. The you that feels deeply. The you that has tried and failed and tried again. The you that gets up even when you don't know how. That is who He loves. That is who He's calling back home. What if a simple 7-minute sound frequency could awaken a forgotten brain signal designed to pull wealth toward you like a magnet? Backed by shocking CIA files and neuroscience, this discovery is now changing lives everywhere. Think of debts melting away, promotions arriving, and abundance flowing freely. This is the one moment that can rewrite your future, but only if you claim it now, because hesitation will only keep you chained to the same struggles. Click the link in video description and comments below to experience the hidden wealth wave and let your financial destiny shift in your favor today. Archangel Michael stands as your defender, your protector, not in a mythical sense, but in the very real, spiritual battles you face every day. The moments when your mind fills with doubt, when anxiety grips your chest, when loneliness becomes too loud, He is fighting for you then. He stands between you and the darkness, and though you may not see it, your spirit knows it. That unexplained sense of calm, that sudden moment of clarity or peace, that's heaven moving on your behalf. God's grace is not temporary. It's not something you borrow. It's yours. Right now. You don't need to wait for a perfect moment. This is the moment. This breath. This space. This holy pause. The very fact that you are here, reading these words, is a reminder that God has not given up on your story. In fact, He's just getting started. Type 2020 to claim miracles over your life and walk boldly in faith. You may be afraid of change. That's okay. Change doesn't always happen all at once. Sometimes, it's in the quiet shifts, the softened heart, the renewed hope, the small decision to believe again. Every step, no matter how small, is seen by God. He honors every moment you choose to trust Him, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. You are not expected to have all the answers. You are simply invited to take His hand and follow. The enemy wants you to believe that nothing can change. That your mistakes define you. That your best days are behind you. But he is a liar. God is the one who writes your story, and His chapters are filled with redemption, restoration, and deep healing. Nothing is wasted in His hands. Every heartbreak can become a holy transformation. Every closed door can lead to something greater. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are in the middle of a divine unfolding. You may wonder, why me? Why would God care so deeply about someone like you? But the better question is, why not you? Why wouldn't the Creator of the universe love the one He formed with His own hands? You are His child. And just as a parent longs to see their child thrive, God longs to see you step into peace, into freedom, into everything He created you to be. Let go of the fear that you're not enough. Let go of the voice that tells you it's too late. God specializes in the impossible. He lifts the broken. He calls the unqualified. He restores the weary. He breathes life into the lifeless and brings beauty from ashes. You are not too far gone. You are just one decision away from stepping into the warmth of His embrace. Take a moment now. Close your eyes. Breathe. Let your heart be still. And imagine Jesus, standing before you, not angry, not distant, but open-armed, with eyes full of love. He sees all of you, and He chooses you. Not the cleaned-up version, not the version that pretends, but the real, raw, beautiful you. That is who He wants. That is who He died for. And that is who He's calling home. Let these words not just be read, but felt. Let them soak into your soul like rain on dry ground. Let them remind you that you are seen, known, and fiercely loved. Heaven is not far away. It is moving around you now. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this holy invitation. The winds of change are here, and you are being carried not into fear, but into freedom. The Lord has been watching over you in every season, through every hardship, and with every breath. He has seen you stumble, and He has also seen how hard you've tried to keep going, even when it felt impossible. This is not the end of your story, it's the beginning of something sacred and new. Type 333 if you're ready to step into God's light and leave the past behind. You may have felt forgotten by the world, but you have never been forgotten by God. Not even for a moment. While others may have walked away from you, He stayed. While you cried alone, He held your spirit. When you felt like giving up, His angels were fighting battles you couldn't see. And now, Archangel Michael stands before your soul with a message not of judgment, but of restoration. This is your time to heal. This is your time to rise. The Lord doesn't call you based on perfection. He calls you based on love. His love has no conditions, no expiration date, and no limits. It does not disappear when you fail. It does not shrink when you doubt. His love stands firm like the mountains, steady and constant, even when everything around you changes. You might think your heart is too scarred, too tired, too cold, but God sees your heart as precious, capable of healing, of growing, of loving again. So many people walk through life quietly aching, carrying wounds that no one sees. You may be one of them. You smile on the outside, but inside, your soul is calling out for rest, for clarity, for truth. That deep need you feel is not weakness, it is your spirit remembering who it belongs to. You were never meant to carry the weight of life alone. Jesus came not only to forgive sins but to walk with us through the pain that sin and suffering bring. He came to restore your joy, your peace, your identity. You may not feel brave right now. You may not feel strong. That's okay. God doesn't need your strength, He wants your surrender. He doesn't expect you to know the way. He simply wants you to trust that He does. And when you let go of trying to control every outcome, that's when peace begins to flow like a river. That's when healing begins to rise like the sun. That's when you begin to see your life through the eyes of heaven. Type 1717 if you know God is not finished with you yet. What if the missing piece to financial success wasn't luck, but a hidden frequency inside your brain waiting to be switched on? Once activated, this ancient signal unleashes waves of prosperity, opening doors to opportunities you never thought possible. From sudden windfalls to long-awaited breakthroughs, it's transforming lives daily. Want to see how? Click the link in the video description and comments below to tap into the Money Magnet brain wave and begin your journey today. Others are already awakening this hidden signal and watching their lives transform. Do not be the one left behind while abundance passes you by. There are parts of your story that have brought you shame, pain, and regret. Maybe there are moments you've tried to forget, choices you wish you hadn't made, words you wish you could take back. But none of those things have disqualified you from God's love. In fact, they are the very reasons He draws closer to you. He doesn't run from your past, He steps into it with grace that rewrites every chapter with hope. When Jesus reached out to the broken, He didn't ask them to be fixed first. He didn't demand explanations or apologies. He simply loved. And that love transformed them. It healed, it lifted, it restored. The same love that touched the leper, the sinner, the grieving mother, the outcast, it's here now, reaching for you. Not to force you, not to push you, but to welcome you into something deeper, something lasting, something beautiful. God doesn't always remove the storm, but He always steps into it with you. He doesn't promise a life free of hardship, but He does promise you'll never face it alone. When you can't stand, He will carry you. When you can't see the way forward, He will guide you. When you can't find the words, He hears the cries of your heart. There is no moment too dark, no wound too deep, no silence too long for Him to break through. You may have been waiting for a miracle, praying for breakthrough, hoping for a sign that things will get better. Let this be that sign. Not because of these words alone, but because of the power behind them, the Spirit of the living God speaking directly to your soul. What you thought was delayed is actually being prepared. What you thought was lost is about to be found. And what you thought was over is only just beginning. Open your heart a little wider now. Let the tears fall if they need to. Let your walls come down, even if only for a moment. This is a safe place. Heaven is near. Jesus is closer than the pain, closer than the fear, closer than the lies that try to steal your joy. He is here to remind you who you are, a child of God, chosen, cherished, and never abandoned. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing. Willing to believe that love can still find you. Willing to take one more step, even if you're scared. Willing to trust that something holy is happening, even if you don't understand it all yet. And in that willingness, God moves. He surrounds you with His presence. He lifts the heaviness from your spirit. He speaks softly to your soul, "You are mine, and I will never let you go." The peace you long for is not far away. It lives in the presence of Jesus. And He is with you now. Not later. Not someday. Now. In this very breath. In this sacred space. In the quiet of your heart where heaven and earth touch. You are standing on holy ground, not because of where you are, but because of who is with you. For the ones whose hearts still whisper, "God, if you're still there, I need you." You may have tried to carry your burdens alone, but now is the moment to set them down. Let this message be a doorway, not just to understanding, but to healing, peace, and a love deeper than anything you've ever known. Type 1010 if you're ready to let go and let God restore what was broken. You are not too far gone. No matter what has happened, no matter what you've done or how long you've struggled, Jesus is still calling your name. He never gave up on you. Not once. Even in the silence, even when you were surrounded by darkness, He was still there. Watching over you. Whispering hope to your soul. Protecting you from things you never even knew tried to harm you. The fact that you're still standing is proof of that divine protection. Archangel Michael doesn't speak unless the moment is holy. And this moment is more sacred than you realize. You are standing on the edge of something eternal. Not just a change in your circumstances, but a shift in your spirit, a return to the life you were created for. The kind of life where peace is no longer fleeting, where love is not earned but freely given, and where your heart is no longer bound by fear or regret. You've spent enough time running from your past, hiding from your emotions, pretending you're okay when inside you feel like collapsing. God already knows. He knows the weight you've carried, the secrets you've buried, the prayers you gave up on. And still, He loves you. Still, He calls you. Still, He offers a future not built on what you've lost, but on what He can restore. Jesus didn't come to fix people who had it all together. He came for the ones who were broken. He came for the ones who didn't know how to ask for help. For the ones who thought they had to earn love. For the ones who've cried themselves to sleep asking, "Does anyone care?" Yes, He cares. more than you could ever understand. His love is not based on your perfection. It's based on your presence. Your willingness to turn toward Him, just as you are. Type 777 if your heart is opening to God's grace. There's something beautiful about surrender. It's not weakness. It's strength in its truest form. When you lay your worries at the feet of Jesus, you're not giving up, you're finally giving them to someone who can carry them.